Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the Fenty Beauty, oh no, what's its real name? Hydrating Longwear Foundation. So if you want to see how this product works, then just keep watching. It's really hard for me to look at the camera and the lights because it's like 6:30 in the morning. Oh, they're so bright. Okay, so this is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Longwear Foundation. It comes in 1.08 fluid ounces, which is a little bit more than normal. I'm pulling up Sephora because that's where I got it from. Okay, so it looks like it retails for $35. It has 49 shades. That's an odd number, but that's what Sephora says. So it's supposed to be a hydrating longwear foundation. It delivers comfortable medium to full coverage and a natural finish, perfect for normal to dry skin. So the coverage is medium, finish is natural, and yeah, it says 50 shades in the description, or whatever. So there's 50 shades. That's really all it says. Is there anything different on the box? On the box it says for all skin tones and light as air. Okay, so I got the shade 130, which is supposed to be their lightest olive shade. And let me tell you, this is not a light olive shade, because you'll see when I put it on. I've tried this probably for 3 days now at least. This is too olive. It's olive for somebody that has light skin. This is not olive for somebody that has fair skin. So this does not work for me. So I'm debating on taking it back. You'll find out, I guess. But I'm debating on taking it back and getting a different color or what. But I will make this work. I have found out that if I do this and then use the powder I normally use, which is the Maybelline Fit Me in Fair, the fair color of that kind of calms this down, so I can at least wear it a little bit. So let's go ahead and apply this. I did buy their foundation brush, so I'm going to do one side with the brush, one side with the sponge. I'm not going to prime at all, just so we can see. I do have moisturizer on, but that's it. So, okay, so I'm just going to pump this on the back of my hand. I'm going to do one pump for now. Do you see? I'm hoping the camera or the lights don't distort it of how olive this is. And you know, that's good when it's an olive tone because I normally need an olive tone. However, the color itself is too light for my fair face. Because like if you go and look, like at least here, I'm too pale right here to notice, but here it is olive. It's just not this extent of olive. Like I said, I feel like this is more of a light skinned person for olive. So if you're fair and olive, which I know it's rare, apparently there's not too many of us, this isn't going to work for you. So I'm just going to have to go down to a neutral or something. Okay, so there's one pump with a brush on this side. You can still see all my imperfections. I will hide this eventually. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one pump with the sponge. Obviously the sponge soaks up more, so it's not going to be as opaque. So there's the side with one pump with the sponge. So definitely a lot less coverage, but I personally like the look of it more. So I'm going to go ahead, build this up, and then show you what it looks like once I've built it up some more layers. Okay, so this is after putting another layer on. So basically I just pumped one more pump and then used my flat brush to paint it in the places I need it and then let it sit for a little bit. And then I did use the sponge to blend those out. Ooh. So this is what it looks like. It's not full coverage still, but it is pretty high coverage. I bet if I use the sponge or the brush over those areas that I let sit, probably would have been a little bit more full coverage. But I personally just love working with the sponge more, even if it doesn't give me as full of a coverage. I will tell you though, the look between the sponge and this brush don't really look any different. I mean, do you see a difference? I don't really see a difference. So if you want to splurge and buy this, I think this is also $37, then you can do that. But honestly, a sponge works just as fine. And they pretty much are coming out to the same coverage, because regardless of if I use the brush or the sponge, I still had to go back in with a second layer to get the kind of coverage I like. So let me put some concealer on real quick, and then let me show you how my powder actually does tone this down enough that it's wearable. Because I brought it down my neck, but if you can see, if I wore anything that would show all of this, you would notice. So let me go ahead and get some concealer on. I'm just going to use the Jeffree Star concealer. This is in C6. Now this is his lightest olive tone, and I just kind of want to show you the difference. This still is too dark for me, okay? Let me throw that out. As a concealer, it's too dark for me. Now if this color was a foundation, it probably would be great. But do you see how this, against this foundation, this probably looks pretty neutral. But you actually can see the olive tone. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up enough, but you can see the slight olive tone, and that's what you need for fair skin. Is I need it to be fair but still have a little of the olive in it. Whereas this foundation is so olive, it does not work for being fair. It works probably for being light, I would assume, but not for fair. Okay, get my powder ready. And like I said earlier, this is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Fair. Okay. So besides the under eye over here, I did not powder this side, just so hopefully the camera will pick up the difference of how this powder is helping it so that I could actually go out in public and wear this. But I definitely am going to have to change the color if I decide to keep this, because it's not going to work. But hopefully you can see the difference of how this powder is helping. So if you have something kind of similar to that, you can use this kind of powder to tone it down. So I'm going to go ahead, finish the rest of my face, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so now my face is done. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see what's going on. Okay, so as you can see, it's already starting to get into lines right here, right here. Other than that, it's not really looking too bad, but it is already starting to get here and cracking, which is something new apparently, because the last couple of foundations I've tried, I've been doing this, and I don't normally have that problem. So let me zoom you out real quick. Okay, so it's 7:12 in the morning. I'm gonna go about my day, and then I will check in at the end of the day with you. Okay, so it's now almost 6 o'clock, so it's been on for about 11 hours. This is what it looks like so far. My nose area looks really bad, but it also looked really bad this morning because I did not try to get my dead skin off at all. So I'm going to really exfoliate tonight and then try it again tomorrow and let you know in the description. But other than that, this is also dry skin. Other than that, it looks really good. It definitely held up all day. It just seems to be that dry patches are not good with this foundation, but it's also not good with any foundation I've ever tried. So I'm going to try to exfoliate better and then try it again like that. But honestly, even with this, I love this foundation because this is pretty normal for me when I don't care enough to try and really get the dead skin gone. So I actually really like this foundation, and I really like the color with the powder on. I'm a little white right now, so it's still a little too light, but yeah, that is all I have for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.